Okay. Are we live? Reporting in. Let's see what we've got. I apologize if I kept you guys waiting. Let me know in the comments if you can see me. I heard myself.
Yeah.
David's checking.
Sorry, because you're delayed.
Oh, really? Oh, darn. Okay. Well, okay. We're here, right? I think everybody can hear me. Well, David says he can. Let's see. Oh my God, it's David.
That's the name.
David wanted this Santa dog featured, so that was really important to him, and we'll let him do that because he is going to be watching the chat, so he can, hey guys, so he can flag stuff that comes up that maybe we should talk about and whatnot.
Yeah, you can see the comments.
Yes, that's right. The last time I was live was 8/8/21. This is my second live ever, and I don't really know why I don't do more of them because I love the concept. But yeah, I think the last time I went live was 20,000 subscribers, which actually is kind of wild because I'm almost at 40,000 subscribers now. So that's cool. But welcome everybody. I hope everybody is having a lovely, why am I in portrait mode? I would love to not be in portrait mode. Is there a way I cannot be in portrait mode? Orientation is locked. Bear with. Let's see if I can give you some. I wasn't? No, that's portrait. Okay, I apologize. Oh, there we go. No. I don't know. I've got to be in this portrait. I apologize. Gang, I'm sorry. This has been a lot of tech shenanigans going on here. Why would you not be in portrait? Okay, let's get focused. I hope this works for everybody.
Someone said hi to David.
Yes, Christine said hi to David. Thank you. He's noted that. Okay, so thank you everybody for being here. Thank you for making the time. Happy Sunday. I know you got busy lives, especially this week leading up to Thanksgiving. If you're in America or elsewhere, just like we're in it now. I feel like from now until the end of the year, it's crazy times, and that's really exciting and really wonderful, but it can also be quite overwhelming. I find, at least for me personally, that when this time starts ramping up and the holiday season starts like really going full bore, I feel very stressed about my type 1 diabetes. And I don't know if I'm the only one, although I don't think I am, because I've had a lot of comments saying like, I know this is some people's first year with type 1 diabetes and they're worried about their kids, and this is their kids' first year with type 1 diabetes. Like, just managing the holidays with type 1 diabetes, managing the holidays period can be stressful, but then add type 1 diabetes to that layer of complexity and it's a lot. Yeah, it's 200 plus blood sugar time. Yep, it is 200 plus blood sugar time. I couldn't agree with you more. I wonder if people want to start asking things or bringing things up or just discussing things that they're worried about. I always say this, but one of the things that I love most about my community here, and it's not my community, it's our community. The thing I love most is that everybody is so supportive and has this kind of crowdsource of knowledge that comes out in the comments section that I learn a lot from, that I know other people learn a lot from. I can see people conversing down there. So I think that is really wonderful, and maybe throughout this session we can sort of bring up anxieties and worries and whatnot and talk about things that we're worried about and maybe crowdsource a bit of support in and amongst that. So I will go ahead and start, and if I look down here, I've got a few notes that I prepared. My main worries are I'm off my routine, and routine is very important to me, and my diabetes loves a routine, so I'm off my routine during the holiday season. I'm not walking or moving around as much, and that really, the movement really helps my blood sugars and helps me feel good. And so I'm not in connection as much with my movement, and I'm eating heavier meals than I normally would. And especially with like higher fat meals, higher fat content meals, they're so wonderful, right? Like all these yummy holiday dishes are so decadent and lovely. But for me, that has a major impact on my blood sugar and tends to kind of push me up, 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 up. And then it's like, am I going high overnight? How am I dealing with that? When am I eating? Is it a later meal? Then it's a later meal, and it's a heavier meal. It's a higher fat meal. So then I'm dealing with climbs overnight. It's just like all of it, right? Just like the complexities. So those are my kind of main worries. The other one I wrote down is that I feel sometimes that time is not my own, and I need quiet time to recharge and bring my stress levels down. And sometimes that crazy, chaotic holiday energy is just a lot to deal with. And that worries me when I feel like I can't have that quiet time. So those are my main worries. And I've thought of some things that I want to do to kind of challenge those concerns. But I also definitely want to open it up to the floor. Please add in your personal concerns and queries and questions, because, you know, it's not just about my worries. So have we got any questions come up? I can't see any. Okay. Well, I'll start talking through mine, but also please, this is a crowdsourced delight. So you don't want to hear me talking the whole time. I want you guys to chime in. Some of my food strategies. Actually, I'll leave food. I'm going to talk about stress strategies first. Some of my stress strategies are as follows. I want to be better this holiday season at communicating my needs. And if that means, hey, we're sat here for a long period at the dinner table after a meal, and that's lovely and that's wonderful, and we're having great conversation, I might say, look, I gotta run out for 20 minutes. I just gotta stretch my legs, get a walk. Like, I need to empower myself to do that. And so that's a big one, a big note for myself, to communicate my needs. And I find more often than not, when you communicate your needs, it oftentimes people are like, I could use that too, even if they don't have type 1 diabetes. Like, they could be like, oh, I need that too. And then suddenly you're making a positive impact on the family or your friends as a whole that has kind of a cascade effect, which I like and have noticed that happen time and time again. And yet sometimes I'm worried that I'm like ruining the fun by communicating that I need to do something different. So there's that. David's got a question.
Yeah, Christine said, my anxiety is being type.
Okay, I got it. I see it.
Oh,
What?
just take my one job away. That's fine.
No, well, if they can hear you, great.
No, go ahead.
Oh gosh. My anxiety is being T1D and gluten-free. How do I go to dinners and not being able to eat much? Okay. I had this too, Christine, because as you know, I'm type 1 diabetic. Shocker. I am gluten-free. And both David and I are. And first of all, communicating your needs, just let people know, hey, I'm gluten-free. Sometimes it can be a super simple shift that allows what they're serving to be gluten-free. So communicating that, but also as a person that's gluten-free, I never want to impose on people. So oftentimes I'll come kind of armed with like gluten-free bread and a gluten-free side. And that's another thing in general that I wrote down is like, bring a dish that you know, you love, you can happily eat, and is potentially on the healthier side. So if you bring something that you know you can eat, that you know is gluten-free, and then you bring some other bits and pieces like a bread or a cracker, or maybe you make a plate of vegetables to share, or things like that. That not only will mean that you have more options, which I think is really positive and necessary because you want to have things to eat, but it also means that you're bringing something that you're more familiar with. Maybe you know the ins and outs of the carb content. Maybe you've had it time and time again and you know what it's like to bolus for it. So you're bringing something that you feel really comfortable and confident with to a meal that you may not feel super confident with. So that's my kind of gluten-free approach. But if you have some more specific questions, or like people don't understand you're gluten-free, or they're just like, you know, I've had it before when people are like, oh, it's just like a little bit of gluten, and it's like, it doesn't really matter if it's a little bit or a lot. That just doesn't work for me. So yeah, let me know if what I said kind of resonates. And also, same people here, you know, are you gluten-free? How do you do it? Let us know in the comments section. We have another one. What is the best way to turn down food when someone offers you food that you can't really eat? That really stresses me out because I don't want to eat the food, but I really want to eat the food but can't. Oh, I feel you so much on this. I really, 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 really do. So there's kind of two things I do when it comes to this. First of all, always thank you so much. Always leading with gratitude. And oh my gosh, that looks amazing. But also leading with communicating your needs. I would love to, but I'm just gonna see how the food settles and then maybe revisit that later. Or, oh, you know, I'm really full right now. Give me a second, I'm gonna circle back to that. Or that looks really great, but my blood sugar's kind of high and I want to see it come down before I engage in any more eating. Even if that's a little bit of a white lie, that's okay. Because, you know, that you have to, it's a little bit complicated to be like, well, if I eat that in 2 hours, my blood sugar's gonna be really high. And then, I don't know, I might go low. And then I might be chasing that low on it. It's like, if you just say, actually, given my diabetes, where I'm at the moment, I'm gonna pass on that. Now, the other thing that I love to do is mentally rehearse those scenarios. So like, I'll mentally rehearse, for example, going up to a huge buffet of food and being like, I literally want to eat all of this. And I want to eat all of the stuff that's like high carb, high sugar. I want all of it. But if I mentally rehearse that mindful, calm thought process, approaching that, thinking in a calm fashion about what's gonna really serve me, what's gonna make me feel good. And what, you know, you may be trying to eat less sugar, or you may be trying to eat less whatever, name it here. And if you are aligning that mental rehearsal with how you approach those kind of really tempting experiences with food and seeing if that helps, that oftentimes helps me because I go, okay, my blood sugar is really stubborn. I'm gonna load up on protein and I'm gonna have just a little bit of all those delicious things. That's another thing. So if somebody's like, do you want this huge piece of pie and you really want the pie, go for the pie. But maybe be like, hey, can I cut that piece in a third or a half? And can I just have a sliver? Or like, sometimes I'll say to David, I'm gonna have a bite of this and then give the rest to you. I do that a lot, don't I? Mm-hmm. So things like that means that everything is open and available to you. And it always is. Like, we want to come from a place of abundance and feeling of freedom rather than, I can't have this and I can't have that and I just got to white knuckle my way through it. Because oftentimes I think that behavior leads to the binge. I would call it. It's been there many times, and I'll be there many times. So that's kind of how I love it. Christine, just say it looks wonderful, but my diabetes is saying no. A-okay. More often than not, when you say something like that, people are like, they really respect that. And if they don't, that's their problem, and it's not yours. And that's okay. It's not your responsibility to take care of other people's desires and expectations of you. It's your responsibility to do what is best for you. And I really think people will understand that and be welcoming of that. But if they aren't, just remember that's okay too. It's okay to ask for what you need. And there's temptations, and I get it. So I know a lot of this is like battle with self stuff. But yeah, I hope that kind of touches on things. Again, everybody, crowdsource down below. Is that okay? This is about your Christmas dog. Is that a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel sitting right above? Yes, I think this is. So this was spotted at an antique store. David fell in love with it. I'm not a big trinkets person, I'll be honest with you. So I was like, oh, the Santa dog. We'd like that. Okay. So I did buy it for him, and then I surprised him for it.
I thought it was $35, but it was only $5. So
yeah.
Happy.
No, I think he thought it was $65.
I'll pay any price.
It was $5. He was fully prepared to pay $65. We call him the Christmas dog. He's so delighted to get it out every year. And it's very cute, actually. Oh, I'm so glad that advice resonates with you. I get it. There's a lot of temptation in this season, and it can be really hard. So, yeah, I get it. Because that was another thing looking down at my list here. Have all your favorites. Just limit your portions of your favorites. Like, absolutely and utterly. You know, that kind of thing. So, yeah. Hope that helps. Okay, what else? Bring it on. It might be unrelated, but thank you for your voice in Alien Isolation. Well, thank you for loving it. Yes, for those of you who don't know, I voiced a video game, a character called Amanda in Alien Isolation, and it was an awesome, awesome, awesome experience. And I love that game, and I love the team, and it was like the best thing ever. Like, I would go in and out for like 2 years of just spending time with these people, and they're a great team. They're a really great team. And Alien Isolation 2, I believe, is coming. So, yeah. Okay, what else? The other thing that I wrote here on food, since we're sort of on the food topic, which I imagine there'll be a lot of on the food topic stuff, is, for me, eating breakfast is important. It's sometimes I'm not super fired up to have a huge breakfast or anything like that, but I've gone years and years and years where I go, it's gonna be a huge day of eating, I'm not gonna eat breakfast. I'm just gonna wait till the Thanksgiving meal, for example, or the Christmas meal or whatever. And that just never has served me well. I end up at said Thanksgiving meal absolutely ravenous, and it's just not ideal. So I'm a big proponent of having breakfast and having a higher protein breakfast. And this is a bit of a shameless plug, but tomorrow I have a video coming out that is 3 of my go-to breakfasts that have at least 30 grams of protein or more in them. So watch out for that video. Tomorrow, I think, is at 10 o'clock. It's gonna come a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I just find sometimes if I have that breakfast, it's a little higher protein, and it sets me up in that more satiated state for the day to come. I'm able to approach bigger meals like Thanksgiving or Christmas or what have you meals where I can think more clearly and think more logically, as opposed to I've white knuckled my way to this place of this meal, and now I'm going all out. And not only am I so hungry, I think I should go all out because I didn't even have breakfast type of thing. So yeah. We got some more. Hi, Emma. Yes, hi from Yorkshire, UK. Oh, I mean, you know, I was in London for so many years. I miss it so much.
Somebody else was from Yorkshire.
Yeah, I saw that actually.
Reagan's.
Ah, type run for 12 years next weekend. That is awesome. I hope you do something to celebrate how amazing you are and that is, and how, you know, it's really hard to live with type 1 diabetes. And so I know celebrating it sounds a little bit odd sometimes to people, but it's more like celebrating your hard work, because it's hard. You're amazing. Thank you. My daughter, 6 years old, was diagnosed last December. Coming up on 1 year anniversary. You've been such a great resource and sense of belonging for my wife and I. That means beyond the world to me. I'm so sorry that your daughter was diagnosed. That I'm sure this last year has been a lot. And yeah, just, I'm sure it's been a lot, but also I wonder if you feel how far you've come. And that is something to feel really proud of too, and how far she's come. So, actually, somebody told me about an app today that I haven't had a chance to look into, so I can't like speak to it in detail or speak to it at all really. But I know they have a partnership with Breakthrough T1D, I think, and something else. But it's called Level 1 type 1 diabetes, or Level Up type 1 diabetes. It's a game. It's a game in the App Store. Perhaps you can look it up for me.
Sure.
It's a game in the App Store, and it is this couple that they have a type 1 diabetic son or daughter, and they're programmers, and they were writing out all the carb content needs and all the insulin dosages and the food, carbohydrate breakdowns and everything. And they looked at their data set and were like, we have a data set for like a pretty beefy algorithm that could feed a game. And I downloaded the game very briefly this morning, and it's a beautiful interface. Level one, excuse me. Okay, Level 1. Look it up in the App Store. Have a look. See what it's like. Again, I can't really speak to it because I've not played it, but I wonder for kids if that might be super interesting. Thank you, Mariana. Beautiful. Level 1. I wonder if others are familiar with it. I would love to know. I'm definitely going to dig into it more, because with kids, we need everything that we can to kind of give them the info and empower them, but also make it kind of fun for these poor kiddos with type 1 diabetes. A big thank you for voicing yourself. Glad to know you are not alone in this. Helping yourself and us. I don't feel alone because of you guys, and that's amazing. Your videos really helped me get through my own diagnosis, so I hope you never take them down. David never let Andrea take them down. I'll never take them down. No, I'll never take them down. There may have been times where I've been a little bit, not embarrassed, but it's like, oh man, what was I doing during that? What was I doing? That was such a silly, way of like putting music into a video or something like that. But it doesn't matter. I will never take them down. And David will never let them take them down. Link up here. Maybe somebody sent the link for that. Hi, Allison. Hi, everybody. What else? Let's talk. What else are we kind of worried about, anxious about? I can start to talk a little bit about, yes, Christine, along with all the food issues, it's winter and snow here. Suggestions for movement and exercise to help management of blood sugars. 100%. This is this is a big one for me. And apparently we're gonna have like a really, really, really cold winter on the East Coast. Like, I don't know, I heard something about record breaking. I'm not interested in that. But, so a couple things. I am very, very lucky to have a walking pad at home that I will try to get my steps in on that walking pad. It's upstairs. I've featured it in a couple of videos. So there's that, just to get steps in. Because for me, it's like, when I'm outside walking around during the summer, I'm just racking up steps by default. But during the winter, I feel like I'm just bundling, running from one indoor place to another. So I try to do that. I'm in the process of getting my Pilates teacher training certification, so I actually have a Pilates reformer upstairs that I work out on too. So that gives me a little movement. So like we've got this weird sort of pseudo gym setup upstairs that we definitely don't have the room for, but we're making it work. Another thing is just going to a shopping mall, walking around, getting my steps in there. A lot of people like these things called like snack movement breaks, I think they call it, where like maybe you just get up once every hour and you pace around for, 5-10 minutes, or you get up and bang out 30 squats. Having these little bits of movement they don't necessarily have to be huge, long 1-2 hour workout sessions or anything like that. They can just be those little bursts that, my God, when I've had 30 squats, my blood sugar can really come down like crazy. I mean, that's a hack I do when I'm traveling too. And I think I talked about it in the road trip video, where I'll get out of the car, I'll do some squats, and if I'm too embarrassed to do some squats, like in a plane or something like that, go to the bathroom, bang out 30 squats. Fire up your quads, muscles, biggest in the body and your legs, and really see some positive effects on blood sugar if you've got stubborn high. So yeah, I just kind of try to keep active. And I really like going to classes where, I'll go to like an exercise class on the trampoline, or a dance class. So it's inside. I don't have to worry about being outside. I can get myself there through a car or a bus, or maybe it's a super quick walk. But then that equally acts as a way of keeping you accountable, because chances are if you book the class and then there's like a cancellation charge, you're more likely to go. So I don't know. I hope that helps. I wonder if that speaks to you. I also feel sometimes I don't want to be too prescriptive about movement, because obviously I'm in the exercise space now doing all this Pilates training. So I get a lot of movement in that way, but it doesn't have to be all structured in that way. It really doesn't. It can be, like I say, just getting up, walking around, stretching. Sometimes I think stretching in the cold season is like more important than banging out some big workout, because it's like all our muscles are tight, it's cold, and you're just sitting because you're cold, you don't want to do anything. It's like the sun goes down earlier, yada, 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 yada. So, yeah. I hope that helps. Hi. Hello. Stans. I'm sorry if I don't say people's names. Sometimes I don't even know how to pronounce them. So, Stanson Doker? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mariana. I'm a dog lover, but never had one because my sibling and I are allergic, and I look like I'm scared of dogs, but that's my allergy talking. Oh, yeah, I get that. I totally get that. I love, love, love dogs. I mean, I wish we could have a dog, but we just can't, given our lifestyles. But I was like attacked by a dog when I was younger, and he like scraped across my face and missed. Yeah, you don't know this?
No.
David's looking at me. I was a kid, so I didn't know. I guess I was taunting the dog, but like, he was behind a fence and I wanted to hug him and love on him. And so I was trying to put my hand like through the fence. Anyways, he jumped over the fence, scraped across my face, and missed my eye. So I was very lucky with that. But that really scared me for a long time of dogs. And he's a very big dog.
How old were you?
I was probably like 6 or 7. It was in British Columbia.
Canadian.
At my family's, a Canadian dog nonetheless. It was at my aunt and uncle's farm. So yeah. Yeah, Mariana, how old was I? 6 or 7, I think. David was wondering the same thing. Hi, everyone. Sorry I'm late. You're not late, Bane. You're just in time. Hi. Glad to see. Hi. Talking about stress, again, I want you guys to jump in. But talking about stress, so I've talked about communicating your needs and just being honest and upfront about that and advocating for yourself and knowing that's not you being a problem or anything like that. That's just you asking for what you need. And oftentimes what you need is what somebody else needs. Like, I love these big, long meals we have around the holiday season. It's wonderful, right? You're sitting at a table for hours and hours and hours. Everybody's talking, reminiscing, laughing, joking, drinking, eating. Wonderful. But also a diabetes nightmare. And that's just all there is to it, right? It's like, let me eat a huge meal and then sit and stagnate in terms of my movement for hours and hours and hours. So sometimes I'll be like, I just gotta get up and move around for a sec. Get up, move around, walk around, hit the bathroom, do some squats, maybe even say, I'm gonna go out for a walk for 20 minutes. The amount of people, after we've been sitting for a long period of time, that go, oh, I would like to also go for a walk. You know, everybody, we're all the same. We love it, but we also need to get up and move around. And just break it up a little bit. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that doesn't mean you're putting a damper on things. You're just taking care of yourself. And you come back in, you know. Jump right back in, no problemo. So yeah, that was another thing. You may end up being a positive influence on your family as a result, or your friends, or what have you. I see some more have come in. How do you deal with the anxiety of diabetes, complications, anxiety? I have T1 since 2024, and every time I get a high, my brain just spirals that tomorrow I might get neuropathy or eye nerve damage. Okay, I get this completely, and it's very normal. You're not strange or weird or anything like that. Please know. I had a friend, my friend Adam was diagnosed very recently, and he has spoken to me about a lot of this himself, of these anxieties. And I'm like, my brain doesn't go there. But I've lived with type 1 diabetes for over 24 years now, I think.
You talked about nerve damage.
I've talked about nerve damage, but it's not something I'm constantly thinking about. Right. Every time I go high is what I mean. Yeah, okay. And of course, it's a very real concern, but, and I want to be careful here because I'm not a doctor, but I have grown up with 2 type 1 diabetic, my dad and my brother. And my dad, I saw him do some crazy things in his life sometimes. And I never saw him lose his eyesight, or a leg, or a foot, or a toe, or anything like that. The amazing thing is the human body is incredibly resilient. And there are people that were diagnosed 60 years ago, 70 years ago, that are living healthy, wonderful lives to this day. And you can bet they haven't lived in perfect blood sugar alignment all those years. And you can also bet and know that technology is only improving. So like, if they're living well now, 60 years ago, 70 years ago, I mean, I talked to my dad about it. They were boiling their insulin needles to sanitize them. And they were peeing on sticks to see where their blood sugar was. Now we have glucose monitors, we have insulin pumps that communicate with glucose monitors. It's just like, it's wild how incredible the technology is innovating. So just know that, like, the human body is incredibly resilient. One incident is not going to make you blind or anything like that. And all you can do is do your best, because what's the alternative? There really is no alternative. You can worry every time you have a blood sugar abnormality, which for me is like several times a day, or you can put that into the grand, big perspective and know that, like, I mean, I had a doctor that was like, for example, every month, being a female, when your period comes, Lord help us all, it's like a roller coaster nightmare. And I had a doctor that was like, just do your best. And I was like, do my best. This happens 12 times a year on the dot. Like, and he was like, it's really not that big of a deal. Like, the body's so resilient, it's no problem. And that unlocked, it was a doctor I really, really respected, and actually is a very, 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 very respected doctor in the UK. And that unlocked a grace for me to have with myself and calm that worry down. So yeah, I don't know. Does that help you? What do you think? Everybody comment down below too. Let me know. Has T1D ever affected your life when you're working at all? Also, do you prefer live acting or voice acting more in regards to your T1D? I prefer the acting that I am employed in. That's a great acting. No, I mean, it's of course, it affects everything. It affects work a lot, but it's not anything I can't deal with, you know? Maybe I alter the way I'm eating when I'm working to sort of limit how much insulin I have on board when I'm going in to shoot something or record something, so I'm less likely to go low. But then you add in the anxiety and the performance anxiety and the excitement and the adrenaline, and then that makes things go a bit haywire. Yes, it does, but it's nothing I can't deal with. So I don't really dwell on it or worry too much about it, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense and doesn't sound too blasé, because I'm not really blasé about it per se, but I try to just be like, well, it's the best I can do. I can't do anything more than my best, so there you go. I'm on my way to my second anniversary, still trying to make the best life of a little honeymoon I have left. Your videos have been a great help. Greetings from Mexico. Yep, I hear you. I hear you, I hear you, I hear you. Sometimes I think, though, being in the honeymoon period is more difficult than actually having your pancreas that's just been like, I'm out. Because then you're dealing with, like, how much honeymoon period do I have here? How long is it gonna last? Is it gonna be, like, is my pancreas gonna, like, chime in today more so than the other days? It's almost more complex to contend with in some ways. So just know that, but you're doing the best, and that is awesome. And I'm so glad my videos can be this little piece of help in your great, great, great journey. Yeah, it means the world. This helped so much, thank you. I've been following you since I got diagnosed. You've helped me so much now. You guys, you have no idea how much you help me. Like, truly, it's my pleasure. It's absolutely and utterly, like, I love doing it. Are you happy with your current diabetes management? Yes. Yes. Are there things that could be different? Like, I felt like a couple weeks ago, I was like, I am just ending up low way too much. And that, We got some youngins at the door. I don't know who those are. I was just ending up low a lot. And I was like, I'm not liking this. But I can also do something about it because I'm on the Omnipod 5. So I went in, and instead of targeting 110 as my target blood glucose, I moved it up to 130, which really I'm loath to do because the Omnipod 5 isn't as aggressive as I would like it to be. But I was also like, currently, what's happening? I'm going low too much. So therefore, I'm going to target higher blood sugar and see how that goes. And actually, it's been really great. So like, am I happy right now? Yes. Am I constantly making adjustments, just like I'm sure everyone else is? Also, yes. So yeah, I hope that helps. See another one here. I'm not diabetic, but I might have my sights set on a future pump called Siggy because it's supposed to be a pump that you put a vial into the pump, no syringe use. Interesting. I'm gonna have to look that up.